The haunted suicide hotel. There are places in this world that seem too beautiful to hold any darkness, but sometimes beauty itself is a mask. In Colombia, just outside Bogota, there stands an old structure that looks like a palace from a forgotten era. Its stone walls cling to a cliffside. Its balconies stretch out toward the roar of a mighty waterfall. At first glance, it is breathtaking, but those who know its name feel a chill, because this place has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted buildings on Earth. They call it Hotel del Salto, the Hotel of the Leap. The hotel was designed in 1923 by architect Carlos Arturo Tapias. At that time, Colombia's wealthy elite longed for retreats in the mountains, escapes from the chaos of the growing city, and so, a grand hotel was constructed directly beside the Tequendama Falls, one of the most spectacular natural wonders in South America. Guests could look out from their windows and see water plunge from a cliff into a misty gorge far below. The sound of rushing water was constant, a lullaby to some, a warning to others. Yet, from the very beginning, the place carried a sense of unease. The air around the falls was heavy, almost oppressive. Visitors wrote about how difficult it was to breathe, as if the mist itself pressed down upon them. Servants whispered that they heard strange voices at night. Some claimed that the roar of the waterfall would shift, taking on the sound of distant cries, like dozens of people screaming at once. Soon, tragedy followed. Guests began to wander toward the edge of the cliffs, gazing into the abyss below. Some climbed over the balcony rails and leapt without warning. Others left no notes, no explanations, only silence, broken by the endless roar of the falls. Again and again, bodies vanished into the mist, swallowed instantly by the river below. The hotel that was meant to be a retreat of peace quickly gained another name, the Suicide Hotel. Locals weren't surprised. Long before the hotel existed, the cliffs of Tequendama were known as a place of death. According to legend, when Spanish colonizers invaded the land of the Muisca people, the tribe refused to surrender. Rather than be captured and enslaved, they made a desperate, final choice. They leapt from the cliffs together, disappearing into the raging water. To the Muisca, it was not only escape, but transformation. They believed the gods would save them, turning them into eagles so they could fly free. Centuries later, the hotel was built on the very spot where the tribe had leapt. Locals said it was cursed from the start, doomed by restless spirits who had never left. Every suicide, they believed, was not an accident of despair, but a lure, the voices of the dead calling out, urging the living to join them in the mist. By the mid-20th century, the stories of hauntings grew louder. Staff reported cold spots that no fire could chase away. Guests spoke of figures standing on balconies in the rain, staring silently toward the falls. Some swore they heard whispers in their ears late at night, soft, persuasive, telling them to step closer, closer, until only the thin line of a railing stood between them and the abyss. The hotel eventually closed its doors. The building stood abandoned for years, its grand halls decaying, its windows shattered by storms. Yet even in ruin, it drew attention. Travelers would come, not for rest but for fear. Some entered the building only to flee within minutes, shaken by a presence they could not explain. Photographs taken inside often revealed strange shapes, pale faces, hands reaching from the shadows, eyes glowing in the dark. Today, the hotel has been restored and turned into a museum. Tourists can walk through its halls, learn of its history, and gaze safely at the mighty waterfall. But the name Suicide Hotel has never left it. Guides warn visitors not to linger too close to the edge. Locals still tell stories of tourists who vanish without explanation, pulled as if by invisible hands. Some say the building is cursed. Others believe it is simply the weight of history pressing down, a place soaked in too much sorrow to ever be free of it. Whatever the truth, those who visit often leave with the same impression, that the falls themselves are alive. The endless water roars like a voice, deep and commanding, and if you listen too long, it begins to whisper. It tells you to come closer, to lean just a little further, to see what lies beyond. No one knows how many lives have been claimed at Tequendama Falls. No one knows how many more will follow. But one thing is certain, the Suicide Hotel is not just a building. It is a reminder that the line between awe and terror, between life and death, can be as thin as the mist rising from the water. And if you ever visit, remember this: beauty can be a trap, and the falls are always waiting. If you ever find yourself standing on the balcony of the Suicide Hotel, staring into the mist, remember this: the falls have claimed countless souls before you, and they are always waiting for the next.